class. Okay. So a spanning tree is also a subset of graph G. Okay, make a note that first of all, a spanning tree is some kind of graph only, which has the vertices and also which has the edges. Okay, just like a graph, how we are defining G equal to V comma E, in the same way, a spanning tree is a subset of graph G, which has the some set of vertices and edges. But here, a spanning tree should be cover all the vertices of the graph with a possible minimum number of edges. Okay, minimum number of edges, very much important. In a graph, we have vertices and edges. In a spanning tree, we have all vertices, but we should be able to cover with minimum possible number of edges. That is what actually makes the difference a spanning tree from the graphs topic. And also, a spanning tree does not have any cycles. All it cannot be disconnected, but a spanning tree should not have a cycle. So when you are taking as an example graph, if you are constructing a spanning tree, you should be take care about remove all the cycles from that graph. Then you can call it as a spanning tree. Okay, I repeat, the important spanning tree properties are the spanning tree should not have any cycle. The spanning tree should consist all the vertices with minimum number of possible edges. And a spanning tree should never consist any disconnected vertices. This is about a spanning tree. Okay, see, let us look at into this example graph A, B, and C. This is a graph C. So here objective is we need to construct the spanning trees for the graph Z. See, one more important note. For a graph, you may have more than one number of spanning trees. It doesn't like a single spanning tree we can construct for a graph Z. You can have more than one. Okay, see, for example, in this graph Z, A, B, C are the vertices, and parallelly, see, three edges are connected here, all the vertices. See, when you are constructing a spanning tree, we have discussed just now the important rule is spanning tree does not have the cycles. So what should we do? We can break this cycle. What is a cycle? See, this is a loop, closed area. A to B, B to C, and back to C to A. You are connecting means it is a closed area. This is what I am calling a cycle. But according to the protocol of a spanning tree, the rule is we should not have cycles. So A to C, if I remove this edge, all the vertices are presented here and cycle is removed. So this is a spanning tree. But not only this way I can construct my spanning tree. I can remove an edge between C to B. Still I can remove an edge between A to B. So, but you need to understand a point very clearly here. When you're removing any edge between any vertices, you should not form a cycle at the same time. You should be able to cover all the vertices from the graph G. That's why we are saying that a spanning tree is a subset of graph Z, yes, which has all vertices covered with minimum possible number of edges. Yes, minimum possible number of edges we are covering. And also there is no any cycle we are forming. So this is what about a spanning tree. See, for the given graph Z, we found three spanning trees. We found three spanning trees. A complete undirected graph can have maximum n power n minus 2 number of spanning trees. This will be a formula we can apply for a complete undirected graph. What do you mean by a complete undirected graph is nothing but all vertices should be get connected. First of all, and there should not be any direction specified. In that case of complete undirected graph, how many number of maximum possible spanning trees are possible to construct is nothing but n power n minus 2. See, my n is what here? Number of vertices. So how many vertices are there in the graph Z? A, B and C? 3. 3 power 3 minus 2. Obviously, how many spanning trees I can construct maximum? 3 power 3 minus 2 number of spanning trees. That is exactly 3 power 1 and is equal to 3. See, in this way, you can use this formula. You can find out the maximum possible number of spanning trees for a given complete undirected graph. And let us look fastly some of the more generalized properties of spanning trees. Okay, and here, first property, look at into here. A connected graph Z can have more than one spanning tree.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, excused.
Allow the students into the class, ma'am.
Still people are waiting. Yeah, late comers. Yes, please tell me, is there anyone still waiting to connect the class? Anybody? Is it okay, no? Everyone get connected, no? Anyone is waiting to connect the class still? Yes, ma, answer? Yeah, no. Yeah, thank you, Niranjan. Yes, I think so. If any type of this kind of issues, please tell me like this. Okay. Now, yes, we'll discuss about the general properties of spanning trees. A connected graph G can have more than one spanning tree. AC. A connected graph I'm talking about. Yes, a connected graph Z. Yes, a connected graph Z can have more than one spanning tree. Right? All possible spanning trees of graph Z have same number of edges and vertices. See, make a note, I'll be explaining with an example. The spanning tree does not have any loops or cycles. Okay, and removing one edge from the spanning tree will make graph disconnected. That is the spanning tree which is minimally connected. We'll practice all of this with examples, don't worry. Adding one edge to the spanning tree will create a circuit or loop. That spanning tree is maximum acyclic. Yes, these are the few properties of spanning tree. See, when we are solving the problems of minimum spanning trees, these properties you will understand practically. Okay, see, uh, we'll recollect. A spanning tree is a subset of graph Z which is consisting all vertices covered with minimum possible number of edges. And very important thing is a spanning tree does not have cycles. A spanning tree does not have cycles. So just now we completed the discussion about consider this undirected graph and remove any of one edge. So you will be removing the cycles. So when you are going to be removing the cycle, your tree is said to be a spanning tree. So as formula also we have discussed, a complete undirected graph in this case, if you consider n number of vertices for a undirected graph, n power n minus 2 number of spanning trees maximum we can be able to construct. And these are the general properties. And let us look at this. Applications of spanning trees. Why should we use the spanning trees? What is the importance of the spanning tree? Is nothing but these are the applications. Spanning tree is normally we are using to find out minimum path to connect all the vertices of a graph. It is basically used to find out a minimum path to connect all the vertices in a graph. Few of applications are civil network planning, computer networking routing protocols, and cluster analysis. These are basically related to the computer science applications at which exactly you want to find out a minimum path and should be covered with all the vertices or all the connected nodes to that graph. These are the applications of spanning tree. And still now we have discussed actually what is a spanning tree, how to construct a spanning tree, one example, what are general properties, and what are the applications we discussed. Now we'll see very important and very interesting topic we are starting now, and all of you listen carefully. MST, minimum spanning tree. Minimum spanning trees. In a weighted graph, a weighted graph is nothing but every edge is presented with a weight. For example, consider this graph A, B, and C. Vertices AB is an edge, BC is an edge, CA is another edge. It is an undirected graph. And for example, I presented A to B edge value is 3, B to C edge value is 2, and C to A edge value is 1. See, these values of the edges I am calling as a weight. So when a graph is presented with the values for the edges, you are calling it is weighted graph. A minimum spanning tree is a spanning tree that has the minimum weight than all the other spanning trees of the same graph. See, I repeat, for any graph, you can construct spanning tree, of course. And as we discussed till now, for a graph, we may have more than one spanning trees. But what is important here, we should be able to construct a minimum spanning tree. That minimum spanning tree should be able to carry a minimum weight value for all the edges other than other spanning trees of the same graph. Okay, a minimum spanning tree, MST, is a spanning tree which is consisting minimum weight of edges than all other spanning trees of the same graph. I think so it is clear. See, in the real world, practically the situations, the weight can be measured as the distance or congestion or the traffic load or any arbitrary value which is generally noted as H. Okay, see, these are all real world applications where we can use MST, I am saying. Just like our civil network planning and computer network routing protocols, cluster analysis, in the real world cases, we can use the way to measure generally the distance, congestion, and traffic load. Let it be like that okay. Yes, see now how to find out the minimum spanning tree. Okay, how to find out the minimum spanning tree. So to find out the MST for a graph, we have two most important spanning tree algorithms have been introduced by the very famous research scientists Krishkal and Prims. Okay, say MST algorithms we have a lot, but importantly and most frequently we are using two algorithms, the two important spanning tree algorithms. First one is Krishkal's and the second one is the Prim's algorithms. Now we know what is a spanning tree, and now we know how to construct a minimum spanning tree, and now we know what are the applications of this spanning tree. Now we know what are the important algorithms those are being introduced to find out the MST. The first one is Krishkal, second one is the Prim's. See, this 15 minutes, please listen to me carefully. Krishkal's algorithm. Why should we use the Krishkal algorithm? To find out the minimum cost spanning tree. Right? It is a greedy approach. Yes, algorithms we'll call it. There is some approaches, greedy and all, we'll use in data structure. See, where you wanted to find out something like minimum, you'll call that approach as greedy. Okay, just understand like that. It is more than enough in DS at first year level. See, this algorithm treats the graph as a forest, and every node it has an individual tree. A tree connecting to the others only and only if it has at least cost among all available options is minimum and does not violate MST properties. You will be able to understand this definition if you practice one example. Let it be like that. Up to now, Krishkal algorithm used to find out minimum cost spanning tree. That uses the greedy approach. And this minimum cost spanning trees, MST, should represent the edges with the minimum value compared to the all other edges. Enough. Now look at into this example. See, don't divert ma. Look at into the example carefully. See, S, A, B, C, D and T. 6 number of vertices. And S to A, one edge, S to C, another edge, and S to A edge weight value is 7, S to C weight value is like 8. Yes, I think so. It is clear now. And not only this, every edge which is connecting two vertices is represented with weight values. Okay, because we are considering a weighted graph here. And step 1, the rule 1 is, this is a given graph. For this, I want to find out MST, minimum spanning tree. That should be least cost. What is the first step is nothing but we should be able to remove loops and parallel edges of the above given graph. See, let us know first, recall it again, what is a loop and what is a parallel edge. A loop is nothing but from where which vertex started the edge, and also it is reaches to the same vertex. Okay, at which vertex it has been started, initiated the edge, the path is reaches to the same vertex. And parallel edge is nothing but between the two vertices more than one edge is presented. Between the two vertices more than one edge connecting line is presented. This is what parallel edge. So if you observe in the given graph, C to C, it is a loop. Self started from C, reaches to C. And parallel edge, if you observe in the graph, one loop, one parallel edge is presented. A to B, two connecting lines. And first step is you need to remove the loops. Don't worry, you can remove the loop as it is. No issue. It doesn't affect our MST. See, how can you remove is nothing but first you represent the selected loop with a dotted lines. And also you need to select your parallel edge with a dotted lines. See, you may be getting it doubt, madam, between A and B we have two edges. Which edges shall I remove? The answer is which is the minimum weight, because we are finding out here what minimum spanning tree. We have to consider the minimum weight. Okay, see 9 and 6. Which is the minimum value? 9 is the biggest value than 6. So I should remove the biggest value. So how can you remove? First you represent this parallel edge which is having the highest weight value with dotted line, and also represent this cycle with a dotted line. Clear? And now in the next step again you need to draw a graph, and by removing the selected cycle and also selected parallel edge. So removed in this graph, the C to C loop removed, A to B highest weighted value parallel edge is removed, and this is what the my graph now, weighted graph. And coming to the step 2, rule 2. Now arrange all the edges in their increasing order of the weight. See, very simple. Very simple. What you will do is look at the overall graph first of all. Now check the weight values. 2, 2. Next to what is the increased order of weight? 3, 3. Yes, we have sometimes more than one same weighted values of the edges. No issue. And 4. After 4 increasing order, yes, 5. After 5, yes, 6. After 6, yes, 7 and 8. Now what will we do, ma? Look at into the step 2, clearly arrange all the edges in their increasing order of weight. See, now you need to draw a table like this. You have to consider which is the minimum edge weight value. Yes, B to D is minimum value. So write down in the table, first entry is B comma D. B is a vertex, D is a vertex, and the edge value is 2. Okay, and represent D to T. Yes, 2 value. What is the next increased value? 3. A to C, C to D. Madam, why should I write first of all A to C? Yes, if you don't want it to write first A to C, you can write C to D, no issue. Because of course the weight values are same. You can write C to D first, later A to C, no issue. Okay, see, 3 and 3. Observe this graph. Is there anything else later 3? Yes, 4. C to B, or you can write B to C also. Okay, C to B, 4. It is an underrated graph, no, you can write. And after 4, B to T, 5 value. And after 5, A to B, 6 values. After 6, S to A, 7. And S to C, 8. Please answer me, is it clear up to step 2? Some of you tell me, is it okay? Are you following? Yes?
Clear, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, good. So you have to form a table. You are arranging all the edges in their increasing order of weight. Just you are writing the weight values in the increasing order, and that weight is for what edge you are specifying. That's only. Okay, and now move to the step 3. Now what will we do is nothing but first we are starting with a minimum edge value. Okay, and later we are adding the edges to the graph from beginning to the least weighting value, selecting up to the all vertices you are covering. That is only step 3. See, add the edge which has the least weightage. See, while you are drawing your minimum spanning tree in step 3, what you will do is first you draw all the vertices as it is. Okay, draw all the vertices as it is, and later you select the minimum edge value from the above table of step 2 and start adding one by one. See, I'm selecting 2, B2D, and next minimum weight value is what? Again 2 is there. But when you are inserting this 2, no, you need to check that by inserting this edge whether there is forming any loop or not. Because basically a spanning tree should not allow any loop, should not allow any cycle. We should not forget the basic properties, right? So you have to. So B to D and later minimum value is D to T. Shall I connect? Yes, I can connect, because by adding D to T, I am not actually forming any cycle here. So add B to D, D to T. And what is the next edge value? A to C is 3. Observe the table. Follow the step 2 throughout the last step. A to C is 3. See, now already B to D added, D to T also added. Now the third entry of the step 2 table is A to C, that is 3. So you need to check if you are adding A to C, is there forming any circular loop? No, it is not forming any circular loop. So what should I do? I can add. I can add. So now my graph is, I have B to D, I have D to T, and I have A to C. Okay. And what is the fourth entry? C to D. So we need to check. Shall we add C to D? We need to check any forming of circular loop. So already we constructed B to D, D to T, A to C. Now we are adding an edge C to D. So there is no any formation of cycle here. So you can add. Up to here, we don't have any issue of cycle. So you can add. And now look at into the next entry, C to B. That is 4. See, now you need to take a lot of care. If I add, observe here, if I am adding B to C, this entry, step 2 entry, okay, C to B or B to C, that is 4. See, if you are adding this, what happens? It forms a closed loop. Yeah, it is forming a loop. But spanning tree basic property is what? I should not form any loop area or a cycle area. Okay. So if you observe, by adding C to B edge, it will create a circuit in the graph. It will create a circuit, a closed area it is going to be forming. So whenever by adding any edge, if so it is forming a circuit, we need to ignore it. We need to remove it. We need to avoid that edges. So what shall we do? We should not at all allow to add this particular edge. So ignore C to B. Now if you ignore this, it is just like the above as it is graph. Now our graph is A to C, C to D, D to B, and D to T. This is what existing already. That is only because we ignored the C to B. And let us look at into the table. What is the next entry in the step 2 table is B to T. So what is B to T here? See, check that B to T if I add, it is forming again the circuit. So I should ignore this one. I should ignore because it is forming a circuit. Loop area it is forming. Right? And now you need to check the next one, A to B. See, look at into this graph again. If I add A to B, it is also forming the circuit. So ignore this one. And look at into the next entry, S to A. See, if you are adding S to A, it is not forming any cycle. So you can add. S to A you can add now. Yes, S to A I can add. And last one S to C, which is a 8 value. S to C. If you are adding S to C, it is forming again loop. So I should ignore this H. So what is my finally constructed minimum cost spanning tree is nothing but S to A to C, C to D, D to B, and also D to T. This is what my constructed minimum spanning tree. And if I ask you, what is the minimum cost value of the constructed MST for the given graph is nothing but 7 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2. 7 plus 3, 10, plus 3, 13, plus 2, 15, plus 2, 17. So my minimum cost value for the constructed MST is 17. See, simply first step is ignore the parallel edges and loops. Again, draw the graph. Arrange all the edges in their increasing order of weight. Okay, and after that add just a minute. Yes, Renka, tell me, started review. Yes, me see 10:45 I'm having the class up to 10:45. Okay, I'm in class. Okay, that too first year class. Okay, see 10:45 I'll be joining. Yeah, all the best, Renka. No. I want to join 10:45. I'll be coming. Okay. Yeah, sorry. So arrange all the edges in their increasing order of weight. Okay. So simple it is. You can draw a table like this. Okay. Arrange increasing order in the entire graph. There is no rule to start from root. You need to select the minimum weight first of all. We can have more than one minimum weights. You can add actually even duplicates also here. Construct this table, follow this table throughout the remaining steps, and every edge you can add which should be a minimum. It should not be form a cycle. It should not form a cycle. It should be minimum in the increasing order. So try to add one by all edges so that you will get the final spanning tree like this. And don't leave like this. You need to draw the final spanning tree and you need to mention the minimum cost for this tree also. Got it? Finally, you need to construct the final minimum spanning tree and the cost also specify. Here the cost we got 70 according to the Krishkal algorithm. This is what Krishkal algorithm. If you have any doubt, you can ask me now.